Great kickoff there. Yeah, I'm on set here with Kevin Kennedy, with our VP of Product Marketing for Cisco Security. Can't believe you actually made it in here. Like I was just saying a moment ago before we went live with this, I never get to see you, and all of a sudden you come here and visit, and now we get to chat with each other.
Cedric, I think you sounded kind of like an expert. I have to say you did pretty well there.
You're going against what he said. I need to build him up. I like that. All right, so let's kind of dive in here. When we look at agentic AI, when we look at agentic AI ops, the conversation is everywhere here at this show, of course, but here's what we're noticing. A lot of people still don't really know what it's all about, what the benefit is to them. So let's kind of start there. Let's talk about the payoffs from agentic AI and agentic AI ops, and maybe specifically on the security front a bit.
Yeah, so I think the promise of agentic AI is it turns all this chat experience into action, and it can do things on your behalf. And so from an operator's standpoint, the earliest adoption is coming in IT ops and in SecOps. So a lot of security practitioners that you talk to are concerned about getting the most out of their tools, right? So it's complexity, it's those types of things that are challenges. And so when you think of agents doing work for you, they can proactively look at your configuration, at the health of the system, and help you get the most out of your tools without spending a bunch of time doing it. And so those are some of the things that we are bringing into Security Cloud Control, and we announced this week our agentic ops capabilities in Security Cloud Control to do some of these things on the operator's behalf.
So technologically, it makes such perfect sense, right? I think the challenge sometimes happens psychologically, right? For so many of our customers and potential customers, and they're asking, okay, how is Cisco actually helping customers deal with the challenges of creating an agentic AI-friendly workplace? So maybe we should talk a little bit about our story for them from Cisco, and maybe more about the announcements that we're talking about this week here in Amsterdam.
Yeah, so there's the promise of agents, and that's what's driving the adoption. And then there's the challenges, and that's where, from a security and risk standpoint, people start to get nervous, because you think of these agents acting in the environment, and the concern is, what do they have access to? What is the data that they have access to? What are they allowed to do? Are the changes going to be safe? Are they going to be unsafe? And really, it's transformative for security and on the challenge side, because there's a couple of things to think about. The first is, now you have these agents that are a part of your workforce. How much time do we spend trying to keep our employees from getting phished and things like that? Well, agents, we need to protect agents from the world, because they can be tricked, they can be compromised, and then they do unsafe things as a result. And so that's one of the big risks that we see, and that we've focused some of our announcements this week on.
So G2 was really talking a lot about that yesterday. I think the way he put it, I'll probably mess it up, but I think he said we need to protect the world from agentic ops, AI ops. We need to protect the AI ops from the world. It's a two-way street.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So the first part is protect the agents from the world, and so that's keeping them from being tricked or compromised. And so we announced this week extensions to AI Defense, which is, for the last year, we've had that in market, protecting AI models from things like prompt injection. So the extensions are to bring that to protect agents as well. And so that's supply chain security, things like they're called MCP servers, the way that agents access tools. So scanning that ecosystem, making sure that all of that is secure from a supply chain standpoint, validating the agents, and making sure that they are then properly guardrailed so that they can't be tricked or poisoned or compromised.
That's perfect, and that safety is what gives people confidence to press forward, right?
Yes, and that's the first side. But the second side that you mentioned is protecting the world from agents.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right, so this is where you think of these agents are acting, and they reason, right? They're AI, they reason, but they don't have common sense. And so you can imagine, with all the best intent, you tell an agent, go book an online reservation for me, and it does the research and says, hey, there is no online booking, so I'm going to learn how to speak, and I'm going to learn how to use a phone, and I'm going to call, and I'm going to achieve what you asked me to do in a completely different way than you might have envisioned. Now, that's one of the powers of these agents, but it's also a risk, because if you don't have the right guardrails in place, that one's pretty benign.
Sure.
You can imagine it getting into data that it shouldn't, making changes that it shouldn't, trying to achieve its objective. And so you need to make sure that there are guardrails in place about what the agent can do.
How do we set those guardrails? We got about 30 seconds here. I mean, how do we actually do that? It's a big ask, right?
It's a big ask. So we have added capabilities into Secure Access, which is our SSE, or Security Service Edge, which allow us to natively inspect this model context protocol, understand the intent of the messages that are going across, and secure the connectivity. So it's built into the network traffic and the inspection that we're doing.
I love that. Kevin, I know we could do this for hours. I've got 50 more questions I would love to ask you. Hopefully you can come back and join us at a different point here in the broadcast.
I'd love to.
Thank you for bringing this good insight to us and to everybody who's watching. Truly appreciate it.